This is perks of living in Queensland, Mozzie Bites. I thought I'd actually start by talking about interpersonal skills for leaders and really wanting to talk about how our interpersonal skills really determine our leadership capabilities. So obviously my background and profession is communications. I've worked across a variety of different communications, brands, travel, lifestyle, finance, business, health, and what I've discovered across not only working in these areas and having all these different work experiences and a lot of different personality traits, characteristics. My traveling has also been, solo traveling has also been a part of the characteristics and personalities as well, that I've really understood how people communicate so differently and so uniquely. And I think what I've realized in my work experiences as, you know, and what it actually takes to be a leader is having 5 certain interpersonal skills that not all leaders have this. And I think no matter how long that you've been working in an organization, no matter your level of experience, a lot of leaders rise up in their organizations and get that promotion or get that next level just because of the duration or the amount of time that they've been working there. And I think that doesn't mean that they can manage people. It doesn't mean that they know empathy. It doesn't mean that they know how to actually actively listen and know what their people need and want. So the 5 most important interpersonal skills that actually determine our leadership capabilities are these 5 things that I want to discuss. Oh, hang on a second. I just pulled out my phone cord. So the first thing is assertive communication. So if you have been following me or you have watched a lot of my videos on TikTok, you'll know that I always preach assertiveness, assertive communication, effective communication. It's so important, and the way that we actually talk and deliver our speech is really crucial to how that message will be received on the other end by the audience, by the receiver. So looking at how we actually approach a conversation by looking at what our message is that we want to get across to the other person, what are actually the pain points in a conversation, whether it's something serious that we need to discuss, something heartbreaking, something that it's disappointed us, or it's been strewing and, we have these emotions that need to be brought up. And we can't come across as assertive in a conversation if we haven't actually understood our emotions before having that conversation, which is why people come out and act with aggression, or they act with passive aggressiveness in conversation as well. So if someone is passive aggressive or responds to you in a passive aggressive way, it is because they have not actually unraveled all of their emotions and unraveled the feelings behind why this situation, is getting to them. It's basically pinpointing a trigger that has released this passive aggressive emotion or passive aggressiveness, and for that to happen and to actually respond in an assertive manner is to actually recognize those emotions. So as leaders, that assertiveness needs to come through when you're delivering and speaking to your team and looking after your team. And I think that with aggression in particular, it's something that, again, comes down to, this feeling for needing to be in control, or needing to be in charge, or needing to be... So this is my first time going live, so I'm just looking at all these things popping up. So hi everyone. So needing to be in charge, I think, puts people off of the way that they actually should be responding. So assertively communicating our message and how how we want our message to get across to our team and other people as well. So the second thing that I want to mention here, that is an interpersonal skill that again determines our leadership capability, is active listening. So invite to join live. I don't know what that means. Does anyone know what that means? Invite to join live. Someone asked me to join live. I don't know. Hi, Michaela. Sorry, guys. I'm new to the whole TikTok live. Thanks for your patience. Yeah. So active listening. This is good multitasking. So active listening is huge as a leader. If you can't put down your phone and look directly at the other person who's talking to you, if you can't actually put aside time for them, give them that time to actually listen to what they're wanting to share with you, or their concerns, their feedback, constructive criticism, which actually I'll come back to constructive criticism in a minute, because that's very important. If you can't take constructive criticism, there's a part of you that believes them, that you actually have this flaw, that you have this what's the word I'm looking for? Vice that you need to change. So actively listening by giving that other person your full attention, not being distracted by a mobile, even whether it's something's on the TV screen, you're having a conversation with another person, you're trying to do emails at the same time, whatever it might be, giving your person your full attention, giving the other person your full attention, and actually showing them that, hey, I'm listening to you, I'm here, and you have my full attention. Because in the only case that this is different for is people with ADHD. ADHD is so common, by the way. I've worked with ADHD. I have family members with ADHD. So I fully understand this disorder. It is so common. I feel like every second or third person has it. And that's okay if you have ADHD. I think it's good when we know if we have these types of disorders, that we can then actually say to the other person, hey, I just want to let you know, I don't mean to interrupt you when you're speaking, but I have so many things to say, and I feel like if I can't get my point across quick enough, that I'm going to lose my train of thought. So just say something like that. Just say something like that if you're someone who also struggles with ADHD. So it's not about having to be perfect in conversation. If our brains think at so much of a higher capacity to the words that we're actually speaking, which is why when someone is speaking to us, sometimes it can be really hard to pay attention, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, they're telling me one thing and I'm thinking this, and I'm thinking how I'm going to respond, but then I'm thinking about the next thing that I want to say, and oh my gosh, hola, Jorge, yay! And so we're thinking about one thing and talking another thing. So that's another thing that we want to say is, hold on a second, I'm just feeling really overwhelmed. I have so much going through my head. Can we just talk one point at a time, or discuss one thing at a time? So actively listening, guys, so important, and everyone deserves to be heard and seen. And if you didn't study Year 9 psychology, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, feeling seen and heard is what we all need to have this fulfillment in life. We all need this sense of connection to community, being heard and being seen. So when we don't get that from other people, then the passive aggressiveness comments or responses come out. The aggression comes out because we're not feeling seen, we're not feeling heard when people don't listen to us. So human connection, we need that to survive. And we, in a post-COVID world now, I don't know if anywhere around the world's being really badly impacted by COVID at the moment. I'm based in Queensland in Australia, and we're pretty great here now. But post-COVID world, you know, we've seen that, and we saw what happened during the pandemic, during that whole time, this lack of human connection, and losing these losing these spaces of connecting with people in person and going to in-person events and all these things. There was, you know, increases in suicide and depression, and it was horrible. And I had some of my best friends were in the south in Melbourne, who had one of the worst lockdowns in the world, being locked down for almost 2 years. And it destroyed a lot of people. So human connection, feeling seen, feeling heard is critical. It's absolutely crucial. The next thing that I want to say is, as a leader, the emotional competencies and our emotional literacy, so how emotionally intelligent we are, is what will change anything as a leader. So someone who is intelligent and has an IQ of, you know, whatever, like a very high IQ, very intelligent, one of those people that maybe they're good at everything they start, maybe one of those people that they, you know, got high, you know, high distinctions in their university, all these kinds of things. However, if they can't communicate to people, if they can't actively listen to people, if they can't feel empathetic towards other people, and if they don't know how to actually effectively handle difficult conversations and be assertive in the conversations that they're having, then they lack this emotional intelligence. And when we lack emotional intelligence, you cannot be a competent leader. And I don't know about you guys, but we do not have enough competent leaders in this world. We may have a lot of people who are labeled CEOs and executives and members of these chair committees, and you know, their titles look as if they are leaders. However, does not mean that they are competent, does not mean that they are emotionally intelligent and have a level of emotional literacy where they can actually manage people, where they can actually lead and guide and hold space, have this empathetic side towards other people. Because when other people are, particularly in organizations and in teams,